Hello! I am the Witch of Jasmine, and welcome back to my channel! Today is the new moon in Virgo, so we are doing a pick a card reading for the new moon. How are you guys feeling? I'm feeling pretty excited. Oh, there we go. So as I'm shuffling out these cards, I'm only doing 3 for this reading, but take some deep breaths, ground yourself, center yourself. That wants to come on out. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and pick our crystals. We've got rose quartz, goldstone, and green aventurine. All right, for the cards, we've got Purification, Regeneration, and Duality. Let me show you up close. That noise in the background is just Cheralyn, my executive producer, my cat. She's playing the thumping game with the rug. But we've got Gemini and Air with the Snapdragon. She likes to take the little side of the rug and go boop, boop. I call it the thumping game. Alright, this is Regeneration with the Goldstone. We've got Aries and Fire with, how do you pronounce that? Tarragon? I thought this was Rosemary at first. Oh, oops, sorry. But it's Tarragon. And then lastly, we have Duality with the green aventurine. We've got... Where's the zodiac sign? Do you see it? I don't see it. There's the water sign. But I don't know where it is. I'll look it up in a second. With the banana. Do you see it on there? I don't see it on there. Okay, well this one is Cancer. Maybe I'm like totally missing it. Sometimes the signs are a little hard to find, but I literally don't see it at all. But that one's Cancer. Just FYI. So, take some deep breaths. Find which one you are the most drawn to. I'll give you a minute. Okay, if you still need some more time, feel free to pause, but I'm going to go ahead and get started, so you can go down to the description and click on the little timestamp, so I will meet you at your reading. Alright, we are starting with Purification with the rose quartz, with Gemini and Air. Got it. Alright, let's get your cards all set up and find out what is it. That was easy. What is it that you need to know for this upcoming moon cycle with this new moon in Virgo? That was nice and easy. I love it. Let's get the other ones. Wow, definitely a lot of energy here. This is going very quickly. We'll go with that one. Yes. What's going on, Halen? Can you give me just a minute, girly? There we go. That was easy. She wants to be let out. 1 second. All right, let's take a look at your cards. We have Nine of Swords, Knight of Cups, Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles reversed, Two of Chalices reversed, and Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay. So starting here with this Nine of Swords above Eight of Pentacles reversed, Nine of Swords is about anxiety, fear and anxiety. And because we have this Eight of Pentacles reversed below it, that tells me that the thing that you maybe feel fearful of right now, I feel like it has something to do with feeling like you are wasting time or wasting effort. I don't know necessarily if, whatever this is about is something you're wondering if you should quit or stop, but something along those lines where you just feel like whatever's going on, it's not quite working, and it's leading to this fear and anxiety, right? I'm actually very inclined to say that this is about a relationship. Of course, because these are general readings, we're talking about energies, right? Not situations. So you can apply this to whatever's going on in your life. But I think for most of you, this is about a relationship. With Eight of Pentacles as well, that does have a theme of education to it. So I feel like part of that, feeling like things are not working, feeling might be related to you feeling like you don't know how to handle this. Like if this is related to maybe like a career or job or passion project or project of any kind, as in like you don't know if you are capable enough to see things through, to continue on. Again, with a relationship, there might be a part of you that doesn't know how to work through these certain things. So this part here specifically is why I feel like this has something to do with someone. Maybe not even necessarily like a romantic relationship, of course, but just some sort of relationship. Even if it's just like a coworker kind of relationship. Like I'm saying relationship in the most broad terms. I'm kind of trying to figure this out because we have this Two of Chalices, aka Two of Cups reversed. And that card is about a balance in a relationship, a harmony. It's very similar to the Lover's card, but it's, when it's reversed, it's that disharmony, it's that imbalance. It's things not feeling 50-50. It feels like somebody's giving more, somebody else is taking more, I'm thinking like even in a boss-employee relationship where like, yes, that's not necessarily supposed to be equal, but at the same time, there should be some level of fairness, right? It's not like one person, just because they're like above the other, doesn't mean that they're able to just like do whatever they want and you have to go through with it, Because we have this Knight of Cups here, and I love Knight of Cups. It's one of my favorite cards in this whole deck, but for some reason, he's not giving me the usual feeling that I like to get. Something just, I don't know. Because usually when Knight of Cups comes up, oh, Halen's tail is right here. That's what that is. Usually when that card comes up, like Knight of Cups often represents somebody who is just filled with love and support. I mean, look at this guy. He's flying on his little broomstick and he has, you know, just love pouring out from his cup. And there's a cute little kitten there too. I love Knight of Cups, but I don't know. Something about him in this reading just isn't right. See, because the vibe I'm getting from this is that this is kind of a facade, right? And I will just kind of explain here really, really briefly. This top part of my spread, that represents the physical, the reality, like what you see, you know? But this represents the inside, how you feel. So I'm getting the vibe that like, it's kind of one of those like situations where somebody is acting like, you know, things are so great. I'm giving you all my love and support. And this could be you or the other person. I don't really know. But deep down, what's really going on? There's this unevenness. It's almost, it makes me think of like a partner who does the bare minimum, but wants like all the respect in the world for it, right? They're like, oh, I'm the best partner ever. I brought the mail in. I took the trash out. I'm the best partner. You can't get any better than this. This is, you know? And it's like, well, I'm glad you did that, but I don't know. It's not this. It's the bare minimum, you know? That's the feeling I'm getting from this. And again, I don't know if that's you or the other person, but it's certainly a factor here. Hey, Halen, please don't eat my book. So I don't know. It's not really a deception type thing. I feel like it's more of a, the word that's popping into my head is overinflation. That's the word. I don't even know if that's a word though. That's just the one that's popping into my head. We do also have this Queen of Pentacles reversed too. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is very abundant, who has all of her, you know, very like stable, financially stable, mentally stable, stable in life, has all of the materials and resources that she needs, and is also able to give that away. Give it away to those who need it, but is good at like not giving too much away, right? Just the right amount so that she still remains secure. What I'm trying to get to here, I think I'll kind of skip ahead a little bit. I think with this, it feels like a situation where somebody is essentially being taken advantage of and is just not really saying anything about it, you know? I mean, that's why you're feeling this way. For the sake of just keeping this all simple, I'm just going to speak and assume as if you are this person and you're dealing with somebody else who is like this. It is certainly possible that this could be you in this situation and this is your partner or whatever the case. The roles could go either way because this is a general reading. And just for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to assume that you are dealing with this kind of person and this is how you feel. Okay? I think with this situation, it's something that you are essentially trying to sweep under the rug, or you don't know how to handle it and how to deal with it. So it's just kind of building and building like this. But I mean, in the long run, obviously, this is not normal. This is not how it's supposed to be, right? So it just kind of ends up making things worse and worse. And unfortunately, with this Eight of Wands too, that's a very quick, rapid energy. So I think this Queen of Pentacles, oh shoot, did I explain what it means reversed? Reversed, it's the opposite of what I said, right? It's being drained of your resources, being very unstable. It's the opposite of that. And I feel like that's kind of where you're trending towards with that. And I think it's happening faster than you may realize. Which is to say, this is a situation where it needs to be dealt with sooner than later. I think by just staying in this spot of not knowing what to do, not knowing what to say, not knowing if you should put up with it, not knowing if you should leave, all that kind of stuff. Whatever you choose to do, I would highly suggest figuring that out pretty quickly. Sooner rather than later. I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what is the resolution that I should give? What do I think? Where do I think you should go from here? But I'm just trying to think carefully before I give my advice. Not my advice, I mean, based on tarot, what the cards say. Actually, let's just go ahead and draw a card. This is definitely one of those situations where I want to make sure I say the right thing. So let's just kind of generally ask, where do we go from here? We have this situation laid out in front of us. Where should you go from here? Because I have a thought in my head, but I want to be 100% sure before I say it. Or as close to 100% as I can get. Four of Wands. Interesting. Let me adjust this all. Hold on. Okay, I'm just going to leave you with that. I really don't like to tell you what to do unless I'm like completely sure. And I'm just not there with this reading. I think that this is one of those readings that's more so here to clarify the situation for you, lay out what's really going on, and then it's up to you to decide how to handle it. It's not for the cards to tell you. However, I think if you are looking for some further guidance or for some further advice, this Four of Wands is all about the home. It's all about, well, specifically celebrating the home, celebrating those who you love. That could be your literal, like, blood relatives, or it can be your chosen family, whatever feels like home to you. I think now would be a really great time to be with those people, to talk with those people, feel their love and support, because I do not trust that. And I think by talking to them, you might be able to find some new perspective, and that will help you find a resolution to this, because you shouldn't be feeling this way. This is a problem. That's not something people should have to just put up with. All right, I think that's about everything I could get out of this. But with that said, if you have any questions about this, or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. The best place to reach out to me is on my TikTok at The Witch of Jasmine. I do also have an Instagram account. It's a very small account, but because I really don't like Instagram, but I made it so that if that's the most accessible place for you, you can reach out to me on there. But I'm sorry you're in this position. It's frustrating, and I know that it's one of those things where it's difficult being in it, right? It's one thing to look from the outside, but being in it kind of adds a lot more context and nuance. And I think having an outside perspective, perhaps a more objective perspective, can really help you. So I'm wishing you lots and lots of luck with this. Wishing you nothing but the best, of course. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! Alright, let's get into Regeneration with Aries and Fire. Ooh. Very curious what you've got going on. Let's find out. So once again, as I'm shuffling, take some deep breaths. I was gonna say open your mind, but like, what is... I don't really know what that means. I mean, I know what that means, but I don't know. Sometimes these things just pop into my head. Sometimes they're very meaningful, sometimes I don't think they are. I think it's just my brain. Right, on to our last little bit. By the way, while we're just kind of here chilling, might as well just kind of mention that if you are new to my channel, or if you've been around for a while and you just want to know a bit more about my spread, how my cards and my process works, I highly recommend you check out a video I just posted last week. It is an updated version of how my spread works, how do my tarot readings work. So if you'd like more information, I'm sure I put in the cards somewhere over here a link to it, but it's also in the description. I don't think you need to watch it in order to understand how these things work, but if you have questions or if you just want to understand it a little better, there's lots of information packed into that video, so highly recommend it. But for now, don't click off of here because I want to find out what's going on with you. Let's take a look. We've got Six of Cups, the Moon reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, Five of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and 10 of Athames, aka 10 of Swords. Okay. So with this oracle card, it's a signal that what we're talking about here is essentially how to level things up, how to take something, whatever this is about, to the next level, how to kind of speed up some progress, speed up some growth like that. So a lot of this, before I really get into it, I'll be honest, a lot of this looks quite scary and quite negative, but I think this is very like shadow work based. I think this is, the purpose of this reading is to highlight some things you might want to work on or consider if you are interested in doing quite a bit of spiritual growth at this point. Does that make sense? I say that because I don't want this to just sound like, oh wow, this is just a lot of negativity. You got a lot of negativity surrounding you. This is just a very specific thing, one specific part of you or part of your life or whatever that we're kind of honing in on. It's just one part of a very big picture. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have this Five of Pentacles below Six of Cups. Six of Cups is about nostalgia, really. It's mostly associated with just childhood. But it does have a feeling of like happy nostalgia, right? Like looking back on the good old days, you know? So with Five of Pentacles below that, oh, and I guess I should say really quick, just to contextualize this top part of my readings is the physical, it's the material world, it's reality, it's what we see, it's that stuff. And this is your inner world. This is how you feel, what's going on inside, right? So I am curious about what this relationship is here, because Five of Pentacles is, or I mean the relationship between these is here, because this Five of Pentacles is about being in need, like of money or resources, things like that, or maybe health, your health not being so great. So I'm inclined to say this might be a little different because this is a general reading, but I think for most of you, what this part means is, you know, just inside you're not doing so great, and you might just kind of be in a place right now where you are looking towards those more like, you know, more like childhood days and times. You might be kind of wanting to go visit those places, or listening to the music you used to listen to at that time, kind of as an escape from this, or as a distraction from this. That's probably a better word for it, from your current state right now. I also kind of feel like this, technically Five of Pentacles is about, like I said, material things, but something in this, I do kind of feel like this is more of an emotional, like I'm thinking of, for example, maybe you don't have many friends right now, or your friendships aren't that great right now. So you're kind of thinking back to like the friends you had back in the day, and you're kind of like, man, I wish I could like reach out to them. I wish I could like talk to them, maybe going through their Instagram, going to places where you used to hang out with them. Like that's what I'm getting from this. Moving on. Ace of Wands it tells me that there might be some kind of spark in you right now, like something you want to try, maybe like a newfound hobby or passion or something like that. Maybe a big change you want to make in your career. But I don't want to rain on your parade, but I think if that's something you really want to do, now is not a good time to pursue that, because we have this moon card reversed above it. And that's a pretty clear sign that things are not what they seem. There's some confusion or illusion. Let me show you this card up close. It's actually really cute. We have this little cat looking into the water, right, of this pond. And he's a little cat, but in the water, he's seeing this big panther, right? Something that is much stronger than what he really is, right? Or at least something that's a lot more different than what he really is. And especially if it's reversed, I think, I'm not going to say for sure that this is a bad idea or you should never do it, you should forget about it, but I am definitely going to say I think it's something you should hold off on. I think there is something that is making you see things a little differently than what they really are, whether that's an outside factor or that's just more of an internal thing with you and your mind. You're just not clear-headed enough to make any like big decisions. Something like that. I know I'm using a lot of words, but I'm trying to say whatever this is that you're like maybe wanting to dive into, something, I am going to emphasize something new and different than what you usually do. Hold off. It might not be what you think. It might, I'm even thinking, Wands is usually more of a like project or career type energy, but I'm even going to say too, if it's like a relationship you might want to kind of be jumping into, I would recommend holding off. Plus, technically we're in Mercury retrograde, so if you need any other reason to hold off before diving into something, it is also Mercury retrograde. We're at the end of it, but still. So anyway, here, I think as far as, well, let me say this. With this 10 of Athames here, that's kind of rough to see because that card is about betrayal. It's about feeling like you just got stabbed in the back 10 times with 10 swords. That's what it's about. It's the only good thing I can say about it is that it does represent something that has already happened, or at least in this reading, I certainly feel like that's something that has happened in your past, right? Maybe it's just some lesson you had to learn the hard way, but I think that might be something worth looking back at and reflecting on right now. Maybe there's a part of you that hasn't fully healed from that, because we have this Ace of Cups reversed here, which I hate seeing Ace of Cups reversed because I love Ace of Cups upright. It's like feeling it's like the butterflies in your stomach excited kind of feeling, right? It's like when you have a crush on somebody, or you're really excited to do something, or you know, you've been waiting so long for this day to come and here it is, and it's that like really giddy, excited feeling. So having it reversed is like not being able to feel that, right? So I think whatever this situation is, it's preventing you from feeling that way. And I think this reading is just kind of encouraging you to take some time and do some, I know this is super vague, but just do some healing with that. Now is probably a good time to revisit that so that we can, and I don't want to sound contradictory because I know here, these are two different things though. Because this, I think, is less genuine than this. It's because of the illusion, you know? It's not real, necessarily. But with this, I'm more so thinking like, it's a feeling of like, you should feel excited about something, but you're not. And that frustration that comes with that, you know? So, two different things. This reading feels a little all over the place, but these are just, I mean, this, and this. These are some topics that this reading is encouraging you to revisit, to think about if you're interested in doing some shadow work at this time. I think looking at any of these situations will really help you with this. Kind of getting a nice boost of evolvement, right? Spiritual growth that can only help you in the long run. But if you have any questions about this, or if you'd like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. The best place to reach out to me is on my TikTok at The Witch of Jasmine. You can also find me on Instagram. I have a very small account on there because I really don't like Instagram, but I wanted to make it just in case that's the most accessible place for you. You can find me on there. I also want to emphasize with this, I don't want you to feel any pressure to revisit this stuff. Like if you're looking at that and saying, oh, no. If I start thinking about that, that's going to ruin my whole week. Like then don't. There's no pressure with this at all. These are just suggestions that it's an invitation. It's saying, hey, if you'd like to kind of, you know, do some spiritual growth, do some shadow work, these are some topics that might, or I guess situations that would be good at this point that would really help you. But honestly, if you look at all of this and say, nope, this is not what I wanted, I'm out, that's totally fine. You're all good. Nothing bad's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! All right, we have Duality. I've been looking at this and I cannot find the Cancer symbol, so if you guys see it on here, let me know. But either way, we can look it up and we know it's Cancer and water with green aventurine and banana. Let's see, what does all of that mean in this reading? Let's find out. There we go. So as I'm shuffling, you can keep taking some deep breaths and just grounding yourself. I do want to plug real quick. If you're interested in learning more about how my readings work and how my process and my spread all works, I just recently uploaded a video called How My Tarot Readings Work, or How Do They Work? It's an updated version of a video I made a long time ago, months and months ago. So if you have any questions about this, chances are the answer is in that reading, or in that video. So highly recommend you go check it out. There was probably a little link up here but the link is also in the description. So, but don't click off yet because you're going to find out what the moon has to say for you. What's going on in this new moon cycle for you? There we go. All right, for the tarot cards, we have 8 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, Queen of Chalices reversed, 3 of Wands, and King of Pentacles. Wow, that's quite a lot packed into one little reading. Okay. First off, we have this 8 of Cups above Queen of Chalices, aka Queen of Cups reversed. 8 of Cups is about moving on, about leaving something behind. And it looks like the reason why something is being left behind is because of this Queen of Chalices reversed. I think whatever this thing is that you're leaving behind, it's because it made you feel this way. Queen of Chalices reversed is somebody who does not have a good handle on her emotions. She can be very moody. She can be very selfish. She can be, expecting people to just read her thoughts or know what she's thinking. Things like that. I mean, essentially just emotionally unstable, not having good control over that. So leaving behind whatever this will be / was, depending where you are in this little timeline, ultimately very good for your emotional health, for sure. Whatever it is that you're moving on to after this, though, is so much better than whatever this was. So I think you might be in this, I am inclined to say that this is more of a past thing and this is the present. Because this is a general reading, you can kind of pin yourself wherever you're at in this timeline, but that's just what I'm inclined to say right now. 3 of Wands is, I describe it as, in the context of Ace of Wands being the spark of an idea, wanting to do something, 2 of Wands being planning it, and 3 of Wands being taking that first step, right? I mean, with this as an example here, right? We have this person who's like, okay, I'm gonna go on this journey. I'm gonna do it. So he's like, has this idea. He has this, spark to do it, this ambition. He planned this. He bought the ticket. He's ready to go. And now is like the day where it's like, oh my God, I'm actually doing it. I'm actually getting on the boat. Oh God, here I go, So I feel like that's kind of where you might be now. Whether this is about maybe some kind of career thing, a school thing, or maybe even a relationship where you're kind of like, all right, I stepped away from this. It's time. It's time to do the new thing. And I think you might be right at the beginning of that. And I'm assuming you might be in a place right now where you're a little concerned or worried if getting on that boat's really a good idea. It's an amazing idea. I mean, we've got 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, King of Pentacles. I don't think it could be more clear that this is a very good idea for you. Now, I don't like to promise things when it comes to outcomes. And obviously this is a general reading, but if you're looking for a sign that you're in the right place and you're doing the right thing and this is a boat that you should go on, you're good. You're golden. Really, truly, you are. Ten of Pentacles is the happily ever after card. I will say these are all things that are very far in the future, far in the distance. You know, with the 10 and the 9 and the King, like those are, I mean, if you think of a story starting at 1 and ending at 10, right? You're at 3. This is 3, and we've got 10 and 9 there, right? Far into the future. I can't promise that you'll be seeing anything soon. I can't promise that you won't have any obstacles, but, sorry, I kind of interrupted myself, but I mean, things are looking really good for you. 9 of Cups, and especially with this King of Pentacles too, these are very much about like living in a very stable condition, being financially stable, being emotionally stable, being, you know, just having all of the things you need around you, having all the resources that you need. And especially with someone like King of Pentacles, he's such a great guy. He's really good at, you know, he has everything that he needs, and yet he's still really good at giving to others, being charitable, while still not giving too much of himself, right? And that's similar with the 9 of Cups. It's feeling, I mean, you can tell by the look on her face, just very content, very happy with all of, you know, the hard work she's done and just where she's at. So all of that being said, I will say the one advice I'm going to give to you, as in the cards want to give to you, is this idea of duality. I think this is a really big learning lesson with this whole situation. And once you really understand this, I think that's when this will really start to flourish. So when we talk about duality, we're talking about the light and the shadow. It's understanding that both the light and the shadow are both equally good. They're both equally important. Understanding that in life, it's impossible for everything to be good and it's impossible for everything to be bad. And one of the ways that you will thrive is by learning how to embrace both things, right? We talk about, which this card is not in here, but I almost want to pull it out because I feel like it really applies here. But we talk about the Wheel of Fortune. There's the Wheel of Fortune in tarot. And essentially, the wheel is a very old pagan symbol for the wheel of life, right? So if we have a wheel here, the top part is the good and the bottom part is the bad, right? And life continuously flows in this, or I guess they say the wheel of life continuously turns, right? So things are good, and then they're bad, and then they're good, and then they're bad. You have your highs, you have your lows, over and over and over. And no matter what you do, no matter what anybody does, ever, life will continue to turn that way, right? So expecting everything to be good all the time, unrealistic. Feeling like your life is bad all the time, unrealistic. It's important to embrace the good times and enjoy them. And when the rough times come, understand that that is also temporary. And the best thing you can do with those low times is to understand that, number one, you always come out of it stronger. And number two, there's pretty much always a lesson to be learned. So what I'm getting at here with this duality is learning how to take those highs and those lows, that light and that shadow, and work with both of them rather than resisting either of them. You know what I mean? Let the good stuff in, enjoy the good stuff, and when the bad stuff happens, you know, you've got enough tools in your toolbox to figure it out. You get through everything, you'll get through this, and remember that it's all very, very temporary, and it will end, and you will eventually go right back up. and then you'll go back down again, but then you'll go right back up. You know what I'm saying? Because keep in mind, the universe or God or whatever it is you believe in doesn't see things as good or bad, right? Everything just is as it is. To call things good or bad is a very human construct. And not to say that that's wrong. I mean, it's human and we're humans, so we're going to do human things. But I think, again, just in the spirit of like evolving yourself, growing yourself spiritually, just as a person, I think that is a pretty big key to unlocking all of this. But you got to make sure you get on that boat, for sure. For sure. All right, I hope this one didn't sound too soapboxy, but I mean, that's what the cards are telling you. I'm just trying to interpret, you know? So all of that being said, if you have any questions about this, please let me know, or comments, or would like, that's what I say, or would like any part of this clarified, please let me know. You can leave a comment, or you can just reach out to me, whichever you prefer. The best place to reach out to me is on my TikTok at The Witch of Jasmine. I do also have an Instagram account. I don't really like Instagram, so it's a very small account, but I wanted to make it just in case that's the most accessible place for you. Feel free to reach out to me on there. But thank you so much for being here. I hope that this, I know I kind of glossed over this, but whatever this is, I know it's scary. I know it's difficult. I'm happy that you went through this. I hope that this is validation that that was the right move, and get on that boat, man. It's scary, but I promise you got some, I don't like to make promises, but it's looking good, okay? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!